I love ya. Teaching Tuesdays. Yaya Feeding is here with my Teaching Tuesday. What is on a Wednesday? I just wanted to open up and just speak a little where in the world is Yellow the Yaya Feeding on this Wednesday, Teaching Tuesday. Teaching Tuesday is my way of sharing with the world the things that I do to keep me healthy, wealthy, and wise. So today I wanted to speak about, some of you may know that I've been traveling to New York to visit my mother. And, families have a way of opening up all types of new adventures for us, or ripping off little band aids, or doing the things that really gives us substance. So I wanted to share with you, someone maybe, or many of you out there may need to know that when you're traveling a spiritual path, myself, who I am the president of yayafini.com and the director of the International Institute of African Studies and Knowledge. And as a priestess and a practitioner of traditional African religion, sometimes you get to the point where you kind of feel that some of the things that you want to happen with your family does not happen. So many of you out there can identify with it. And so I just wanted to share that. For many years now, I've been a priestess for almost 50 years, going on 51 years as a priestess and practitioner for more than 50 years. So in my practice, my family has not really embraced the fact that who I am and the things that I do to help people and the life that I've created for myself and my children. And so whenever I go home, I get an opportunity to look at, wow, look how far I've come, or look much how many places I need to dig deeper into. So this past week, I was visiting my mom, and I was able to have the opportunity of driving her around in Brooklyn and Manhattan and Queens and Long Island, just for her to have an idea, because of the universal timeout, she's been kind of locked into not being able to travel. And she's 101, almost 102. So she wanted to see the stores that she used to go to and that kind of thing way before the COVID. So I took her, and it was amazing. I felt that I needed to do that, to just go and take her, rent a car, and just do the whole bit, fly in there. And I thought it was about me doing that for her. You know how life is, where you think it's one thing, spirit is saying it's something else. It was really for me, because what I recognize and realize is that my family, sometimes we're born into these families and we are doing some, from other incarnations, previous incarnations, we're doing repair work. And in doing repair work, sometimes you find yourself that you're the only one in the family that thinks, acts, behaves, chooses the things that we do. And you find yourself isolated from them and really hoping that one day they'll come along and come around and see it your way, and that, it'd be one happy family. It's not like that. What helped me and what I acknowledged in this last trip was that I am the only one in my family that's directly involved in African spirituality. And so for my family, I am like the weird one, the strange one. No one knows what she's doing, where she's going. And I've always hoped that we will get to the point where we can sit down and have this roundtable discussion of all of the beautiful things about what Obatala and my ancestral shrines and what it means to be. Because my family sometimes, in visiting me, it's, like, we can't come to your house because you have altars. And it's painful sometimes when you're thinking that you've been dropped in this family that is not, that you're not connected to, and then you recognize you can choose to be the victim and say, "No, oh, these people, something wrong with them," or you can just decide, you know what? I love my life and I'm going to make the best of it. And through divination and different past life readings and a Akashic record, I just had one the other day, that just blew my mind. And those things are able to give you enough substance so that you don't go completely bonkers and feeling that you have to fit into this place where everybody else is, this culture, this expectation of you, this cookie cutter explanation of what your life should be. And so what I realized is when I was taking my mother and going around, my mother did something for me. So as I said, I thought this was about me going and, helping her to see that, because she's been asking me, when are you coming again? I was there 2 months ago. And when are you coming? And this is what I want to go and want her to do. I want to go and see downtown Brooklyn. I want to go to Harlem and those things. And thinking, okay, let me do this for her. It was for me. My mother did something for me this trip that I will value forever. I'm driving and she says to me, "You're a magnificent woman." I said, "Excuse me, I didn't hear you." She said, "You are a magnificent woman." She went on to thank me while I'm driving on the Long Island Expressway or whatever it is up there. Anyway, and she said, it was something to get a blessing from your mother, who for all these years you have always been looked at as the person that was an embarrassment to the family. Unbelievable. She continued to tell me how strong I was because as a child I almost died twice, and that she's so happy that she took the time to nurse me back. She had to um, cook spinach and put spinach in a strainer and spoon feed me that because I stopped eating. And so it's all of these stories about me, which I already knew and it's coming in my book. But to pray over me, she said, "You're a magnificent woman. You have worked. You took your time to come up here and get the car and ride me around. You are so beautiful. The life that you've created for yourself, you have people that respect you and love." My mother has. That was life changing for me. And that's why in my book, The Meaningful Monday, I have this page in the book, page 34, that says, "Keep walking till you walk right into it." Sometimes we get stuck in what may seem like a long, arduous journey towards peace, religion, and spiritual enlightenment. We go through many different phases, paths, roads, alleys, and bushes towards finding the one, the God, the bright light. And so it goes on and on in this book. So if you don't have a copy of it, get it. It's powerful. And what I realize is that sometimes we wait all of our lives holding people up in our hearts, making them the go to or the all encompassing or the validation of all the things that you're supposed to be and to give you the value. And it's not. It's not, because if you continue holding them up in your heart, you won't continue to continue to evolve and to grow. And my mother and I are talking, and I'm driving still. And there's so many things my mother had to find out. We were just talking on a level that I just felt, well, I'm fast forwarding because at the end of the conversation, I felt like I had taken a bath, a shower. I felt so alive, so awakened, such to have your mother pray over you, saying those positive words. And for years, anytime she saw me, was speaking negative about the man I married, the children, the tribal marks, the clothes, all of that. So to have that, and it came in such an amazing way. I'm thinking I'm driving her around. She's driving me around. So she went on to say to me, we got so comfortable, I started talking to her about some of the things that's going to be in the book. And this was the first time I spoke this outside of writing in the book, that at one point I was homeless. And my mother had to hear that. And I says, because we were passing down Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn, if you know Eastern Parkway. And I saw exactly where I was living with a friend of mine when I didn't have anywhere to live. And I said, yeah, at one point, I lived right over there when I was homeless. She said, "You were homeless?" I said, "I didn't have anywhere to stay." Because when I came back from North Carolina, from A&T, and I told you that I'm not finishing the last 2 semesters of school, you told me, "Well, don't come here." So I could not go home because I was such a disappointment to my family. And so I told her, yes, I was homeless. I was homeless for a minute, for at least 6 to 8 months. And so in this, we started a conversation that was like amazing. And I always, expected or wanted a, kind of approval of my life and the journey that I had. And we were able to exchange it. That was amazing for me, for my mom to hear that. And in such a nice place, where I wasn't passing judgment or anything, you know. And then I explained to her about why is it that I was homeless and that kind of thing. She didn't say anything. She just sat there for a while and she just continued. And as we continued to drive, I realized that, I mean, all right, I always knew it and you know it in your head, but sometimes this stuff comes up in your spirit. We choose the people, the circumstances, and the situations that we're born into because that is the very thing to help us evolve into the greater and who I am and who you are and who you have the potential and the capacity to be. And so as we continue to talk, and she was saying that there's a part of my life that she doesn't know. And I said, well, Ma, that part of my life was stimulated by the fact that I couldn't come home, one, as well as the man that I married. I was married in polygamy. You did not agree with that because you felt that the church did not bless it and all of these other things. And I said, but she said, you are so strong. And I said, I got my strength from you, Mom. I said, but where I seasoned and developed the muscle for the strength that who I am today, that I raised my children and myself to be who I am, to be able to of service to others. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm always thinking about how many people I can help. I said, it's because of that time when we were not communicating, where we were not in agreement of my life. That's when I stretched my muscle. That's when I became who I am today. I became a person who understands that there's more to life than living your life based on somebody else's ideology or somebody else's belief or somebody else's idea as to what and who you're supposed to be. This was the first time we ever got that deep. We got very, very deep. And I said, so I am grateful for the experience that I had at that time that we were not connected because of my religious practices or because of my social practices of being in polygamy and then raising my children as a single parent when I divorced. That I felt so free. It was so freeing to get to the point where, you know, my mom, my mother, and it doesn't matter how old you are, your primary caregiver and your mother and the womb that carried you, to have that prayed over you. Some of you may have that, and some of you may have had that because you may have lived in a home that, you know, that happened. That didn't happen, rather. But for many of you who are practicing this Ifa faith, don't give up and don't make that the deadline as to how you want to end the relationship. That, you know, one day we all sit around and we eat, bonbons around the bonfire and eat chamakara. No, it's about you evolving to the point where you're so clear about who you are that others can feel clear about who they are and speak words over you. So this Teaching Tuesday is more of a lecture than a Teaching Tuesday because my Teaching Tuesdays are usually just short. But I just wanted to share that. Don't give up. Don't hold people hostage in your heart and feeling that they should be who you think they are. You chose these people. We choose the people and experiences that we're in so that we can evolve to know that in the dark is where some of the most beautiful orchids grow. In the dark, when you're alone and when you're homeless and we're trying to dig a place into your life and be who you know you have the potential to be. When you're an empath and your entire life is based on what you feel or what you sense, that has been my journey. I have always functioned and flowed from whatever rings true to me. I don't fit in a box. I have never been able to fit in a box. So some of you are just like me, that you can't put yourself in the expectations of others. As long as you are living with integrity, with character, and know that you have value, and that some people will come in your life and some will leave, and don't get attached to when they leave, how they leave, when, what you lost, what you thought you would have. No, 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 no. Know that you are here on purpose, and everything that you are doing in your life is to lead you into understanding that you are this divine, wonderful, industrious, good, basically good person. So that was what I wanted to share with you. So I give all credit and all praise to my ancestors because they have always showed up for me. Always showed up for me. And so this December the 2nd through the 5th, we are having a wonderful celebration and honoring the ancestors. It's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's called Embracing Your Ancestral Practices. So it's online, it's virtual, and in person, because I'm finally doing a workshop in person other than my mediumship retreats. And I'm coming out. So it's called Embracing Your Ancestral Practices. And it starts December the 3rd at 7:30 p.m. until Sunday, December the 5th at 7 p.m. Then the outline is just amazing. And so you're going to begin to continue the process of acknowledging and invoking your ancestors with teachings from a traditional position. So the workshop is offered exclusively by myself, by Priestess Efunlayo Ayolaye Maxi, by Oyabumi de Rosario, and by Olorisha Oshalami Omishore. And so we're going to talk about the history of ancient and ancestor shrines, the connection between the ancestors' reverence and mediumship, the importance of genealogy and knowing more about your ancestors, how to make spiritual baths, making the herbs, the sacred herbs that are sacred to the ancestors. You will experience Reiki's healing energy and have the opportunity to connect with the ancient realms. We got it, Reiki with the ancestors. This is going to be 7 hours of training that you will receive over the 3 days. Also, that's not all. You will also be able to get roots readings, ancestral lineage readings. You're going to get regular consultation, Reiki certification, and all of this. I'm ringing the bell. Dang, 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 dang. $97. Can you imagine? That's a minimal fee because I feel that as happy as I feel about the way my ancestors showed up for me, and this weekend with my mom, how my mom is able to speak words over me coming straight from her ancestors, because my mother never met her mom. And she's always saying, I know my mother prayed for me when she was leaving here and I was 3 months old. I know she prayed for me. So at some level, she believes in the ancestors in her own way. And so for $97, you'll be able to go through all of that. The roots readings are optional, but you don't want, you can get Reiki certification, level 1, level 2. We're going to be doing an amazing closing ceremony. Is going to be an amazing experience of Reiki with your ancestors. We've never done this before. And so Priestess Efunlayo Maxi, myself, and Oyabumi and Oshalami have been working on this in just a way of coming out of this COVID and going into the winter season, just for us to have some things. So when we lock down, we can lock down with our ancestors, lock down with the power of Reiki, lock down with the power of mediumship, and how to use your mediumship, how to track when you see something as a medium and as a seer, and all of us are mediums. How do we do this? How do we track it? When you try one little thing and you follow it, you don't ever believe, oh, I didn't see what I saw. Your intuition is the most predictable tool that you have to go wherever it is that you're going. So I just wanted to share with you that is upcoming, and it is December the 5th, December the 3rd through the 5th. Friday evening is the opening, and that's when we're going to do Reiki with the ancestors. It's going to be unreal. And so that's Friday, Saturday. So you're going to be seeing us, and we're going to be promoting. Please sign up, because the ones in person is limited to about 30 people, and the one online is not limited, but we're going to close down the registration at some point. So you want to sign up. Go to yayafini.com for more information on anything that you see and you like about me. But I just thank you all for always just supporting me and knowing that all of us choose the families that we're to born into, the children. And if you don't get along with your children and you feel like your family's the wrong family, and that, make the community your family. Make the community, get your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, if you don't have any that you see and you connect, make that your family. Because this is a journey, this is a life that we have walking on earth and being an expression of God, an expression of the divine. And so you are always going to be inspiring other people to be better at whatever it is they do. I love to share free things. I love to share on these platforms. So please sign up for my newsletters and anything else. And remember that keep walking until you walk right into it. And keep walking until other people realizes your strength and your power. And your life is going to prove who you are. Not what you say, what you wear, what you think that you know. Is your life is going to be a mirror of how far you've come. So thank you. Y'all have a beautiful day. And I am starting to do New Year readings in December. So I'm going to open up my December and January platform for us to be doing readings. Because now, traditionally, I mean, I've changed it to just Wednesday and Saturdays. I'm now going to be opening up January for 3 or 4 more days. So thank you so much. And this is Teaching Tuesdays, my way of sharing with you the things that I do. And hopefully you will be able to get some value from it. Thank you. And I thank you, Mama, for giving birth to me. She kept saying that. I'm so glad I gave birth to you. Can you imagine that? To have your parents, your mom saying that while she's alive at 100 and almost 2? What a blessing I am. What a blessing. Ashe. Y'all have a blessed day. May you connect to your loved ones in this Ibeji time, in this period that we're connecting to partnering and to family and to that. Look at that. And it ended up, I didn't even plan it as an Ibeji event when I connected to someone else. So thank you so much. Y'all have a beautiful day. Odawo. Teaching Tuesday. Yeah, yeah, feeling.